My keyboard looks like a flock of birds just came over and just pooped all over it. And I love it. It's so cool. As a gamer, the search for the perfect gaming gear is never ending. I've gone from a $300 SteelSeries keyboard to a humble, single-handed Red Dragon keyboard that honestly proved worthy of the challenge. It's still one of the best keyboards I've ever had. That is until a new keyboard emerged from the shadow to prove itself a worthy challenge to my ever-growing need to find the perfect gear for my gaming. And that keyboard is the Epomaker RT100, or maybe Epomaker, but I'm pretty sure it's Epomaker. This keyboard is amazing. One of the things I love most about a good designed product is if the box looks so clean that you really want to keep the box. Let's tease you guys a bit and move that aside for a second. Look at this. They even give us a nice little cool belt. I am a sucker for beautiful, simple designs where you pay attention to every part of the product. Putting something like this is just such a cool touch. Okay. This is our screen. So one of the cool things about this keyboard is they give you an attachment where this is a screen that's actually going to show stuff on it. Now we're gonna get into what that will show, but I didn't expect it to be able to be displayed like this. So I actually love the fact that I can actually unbox this little tiny thing here, and this one also has a Type-C there. So yeah, okay. This is gorgeous. Puke green, baby. This is beautiful. Okay, it's pretty heavy. Yes, this is pretty heavy, quite heavy. So I like that. That's pretty hefty. I don't think this will be sliding very much. Yeah, so this is Wi-Fi. This does have a Wi-Fi receiver. When I first bought this, I was nervous that they weren't going to include something like this because these cables are great. I don't know if they're going to be long enough. And I was a little bit nervous they weren't going to include this. This does have Bluetooth. However, my current PC the motherboard doesn't have a Bluetooth. So beautiful. I'm a sucker for art and I'm a sucker for just well-designed stuff. These cables here are they feel really good, really smooth. They can just kind of get meshed around and you'll be fine. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so the keyboard itself, like I said, it's pretty heavy. You're going to have to feel it yourself. This says need more space. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This is the most beautiful keyboard I've ever had. So this is Windows and Mac compatible, and they give you the keys right there if you want to go Windows or if you want to go Mac. Yes, I picked this color out myself because I actually love this contrast. If you look at the white and the green contrast, this is gorgeous. I love everything about this. Design-wise, A+. This is beautiful design. Absolutely beautiful design. There we go. And that looks like this. Okay, so guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. I love this kind of stuff. So I love design, and stuff like this always reminds me of movies with like really old spacecrafts where they just have like weird stuff hanging from them that really makes no sense, but those things that are hanging from them tends to be like really vital to the entire workings of the spacecraft. It just feels like a kind of keyboard that the Guardians of the Galaxy would have. It's got this weird thing here and it's got this weird thing here, and you're going, what is this color? But there is just a certain beauty about this that is undeniable. This keyboard is the most beautiful keyboard I have ever owned. This thing will pick up any sound anywhere. I am going to put it right next to this keyboard so you can hear just how silent this is. This is me snapping my fingers. This is the keyboard. Again. Something about the nature of keyboards tells me that the best kind of keyboards is one that you can barely feel as you're using it. What does it feel like if I run my finger over the top of the keys? And in this particular design, this keyboard gets an A+ when I compare it to my other keyboards, including the $300 keyboard. Each keyboard is inserted so evenly that if you run your fingers through the top of it, your finger just easily slides. Secondly, each key is actually quite a bit bigger than both of my other keyboards that I've been using. And the edge of each key is just a little bit more rounded, and this is the reason why I barely feel it as I'm using it for gaming. We are going to talk about this because this might actually be a problem, but more on that to come. I feel no shame in saying that the Red Dragon has been one of the best keyboards that I've had. It's compact, it's actually pretty comfortable. There is one flaw that this keyboard has. The edges are not rounded, so for long playing sessions, your fingers actually start to hurt. There's still something about having something that feels very gimmicky about a keyboard that I personally love. Here's the one catch that I have noticed with this. I do feel like it will be easy to break, and the primary problem stems from the fact that this uses a simple Type-C USB, and it's not very strongly on there, so I am kind of afraid that eventually I am going to break it off. But does that mean that I'm going to remove it and not use it? No, because as I said, I love gimmicks, and this is a very cool gimmick, at least until it breaks, and then I'm going to figure out a way to maybe replace it. There are some things that could use some work, particularly in the area of software. It took me several hours to get things to work on my PC. For some reason, everything I tried just never worked. And then all of a sudden, after restarting my PC several times and nothing working, it just started working. And I honestly can't even tell you what I did differently. It just started working. But then the problem didn't stop there. To log into the software to register the device, that took even more hours. But then again, just like that, it just started working. I have no idea what I did differently, and I'm very convinced that I did nothing differently. It's just the way that it is. Once you actually get into the program, the rest is pretty dope. Much like current keyboards, these keys do a lot more than just their normal functions, because for this, you can synchronize these keys to do other functions within your PC. And I know that other keyboards do stuff like this, but for some reason, because this keyboard looks so good and so clean, it just feels like I actually took the time and effort to make the keyboard do more things for me rather than just play games. And yes, as you saw in the testing, these keys are extremely silent. To be honest though, I'm not really the kind of person who needs silent keyboard. It's just kind of a thing that's become necessary in gaming to have silent keyboards. There are a lot of content creators who use condenser mics that pick up everything. So yes, it is good to know that this keyboard is extremely silent as you're using it. But right now, it is fair to say that this is in fact my favorite new keyboard. And until something else comes along, speaking of which, I do know that SteelSeries is working on a smaller version of their Pro line keyboard. So perhaps when that comes along, it will replace this, because as a gamer, we are always on the search for the perfect gear. But until then, this keyboard is amazing.